Our job as an artist is to just create from our being, and that need not be rushed upon by time. So if you just saw the work of other artists who wrote so many songs or poetry in in a short span of a month, you need not think that, oh, I need to do that too, because their timeline should match my timeline. In fact, as a matter of reality, when you create as an artist, you are completely working out of intuition. And there are times when the ideas just overflow. And then there are also times when there is nothing you want to create. There's nothing that you want to express. And I feel that you should completely let it be on the expression of your being. And the expression that your being has got a lot to do with the external world. Because how are you actually feeling those feelings is by being in a world, in a society where you meet n number of people, n number of situations, and then you're into you can call yourself like you're a dot in the painting, and wherein you're in this and this situation. So from the outer, you gain the internal experience. And I don't think that there's any point in rushing up as, oh, I need to keep it like a target, and you need to write X amount of poems in a month or in 2 months' time. However, if there is the need for you, like the urgency just comes up, like for example, I feel the urgency, I feel the surge to speak because I have a message, and my message comes precisely from the environment. Like if you're not put in an environment where it challenges you, it brings out the corners of you that feels a certain way, and then you want to express it because you have lived that truth. You're not talking of a second-hand experience of somebody else, of some other master, of some other speaker. You are telling your own truth. This is your moment of life that you have already lived. And the rush is strong, and the rush comes from the external world because they push you to certain areas. Of course it's unpleasant, but then as an artist you have to go through lots of suffering and situations like that for a thing to come out. And in fact, no art or no creation or no amount of any sort of creative endeavor comes out without suffering. Even if you take a look at an athlete who's super fast in their race and they are so beautifully running, to me that looks like an art. That athlete is beautiful not because of only their external looks of how perfectly their body is designed, how symmetrical it is, but the effort that they have put in has taken them a lot of time in order for their legs to be so strong, so that now they can run so fast. That is an art. To that, any sort of thing that people have worked on and created something beautiful, that is an art. But if you go about bringing it a time frame that by this and this time it should be done, I don't think that rushing about that is a very good idea unless and until you are working on a project for some client. Of course, if you are working at that level, you would have some certain expectations between the client and you want to deliver the thing as per how the client wants. But when you are creating something from your own being, at that point in time, it is essential that you do not need to rush. And you just write the first draft. And then you think, if at all you are happy with it, you just publish it online. And if you think that no, it's not, I'm not so much happy with it, let me just redo it, or maybe I'll add a verse to it, or I'll change the background of it. So maybe a new character might come into the play, or whatever you want to do. But it's an improvisation, and the same improvisation is also in music. So the same song, which might have been sung in a certain way, to me, to you as an artist, you might want to improvise it. And this is not for any sort of intellectual show. This is just for the beauty of it. Because you as an artist, you view things very differently than the rest of the world. Rest of the world is mechanical. To me, it's so boring, it's so dull, it's so dead. I view the world through my own lens of beauty. And if I do not see any beauty, I believe in creating it. And that's why I'm creating so many videos. It's not for because I believe that truth has its own beauty. And I tell my truth, I tell my existence story. And I do not have any hopes from that. Like, I do not expect anything out of it, because my own, the very fact that I express it, that itself brings me a lot of joy, because that lets me be who I am. And I'm paying a price for that. I'm paying a huge price of being myself. That's why a lot of people do not want to be themselves, because they want lots of validation from others. They want a lot of support from others who will take away in turn who they actually are, who would take away their freedom from that space. But people sell that away, you see. People just want to sell that away because they are too scared to be themselves. Though I tell you, being yourself is the most beautiful thing that you can ever do. And you might have to pay the price for that. But that's so worth it. Living your own truth is beautiful. And no artist would trade that. You see, why was Tupac so great? Was because he was so much himself. Because his entire song talks about the reality and the truth of his life. Now people go on copying Tupac by just shaving their head and taking tattoos and making tattoos on their body with zero character, poor character displayed. Nobody cares about that. No matter how much strong body or muscle you have, nobody cares shit about that. It's in the character of the person, it's in how much truth that you can tell. That is beautiful. No amount of external makeup or external strength or stuffs in the material world can add beauty to that. If you're a person of lie, if you do not have that what it takes, you do not have that spirit. That's why people loved, the entire world respects Maya Angelou. She was a great writer, speaker, revolutionary, because she stood all the time for the truth. And she was so amazing about expressing herself in each of her poetry of Maya Angelou. That's why everybody respects her. So as an artist, this is so essential that you tell the truth in a story which you resonate with. Even sometimes you might say, but that is not my life experience. And in my imagination, I created this artist and who's living this and this life. But you, as who you are as an artist, even if you in your imagination you are creating a new character and bringing it life into a new play, that's also nice, because at that space you are playing with your imagination, and imagination can go anywhere. So that is also beautiful. But what I do not support so much is to sell your art just for the sake of making it a big hit. And that might be so much like chewing the chewed, talking the same thing what's been said many times, singing the same melody which has been sung million times, doing the same dance on TikTok which everybody is doing just because you want to follow the trend. Life itself is a dance. You are yourself. Your life itself is a dance. You see to that. And when you come from that space, you need not follow any of the dancer. You need not copy a certain choreographer and do exactly step by step. People do that, but to me, I think that as a creative person, you can very well move and groove along the way how your mind, your being tells you to, and that can still be rhythmic, and that can still be very beautiful. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about authenticity and being you before you create any sort of art. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.